downtown Killeen.
Well, I'm the old guy up here again. Killeen has been revitalized many times. It was revitalized in the 60s. It was revitalized 6, 7 years ago. The facades and the streets and everything like that. But I really don't know what that has been revitalized. But what we really have to do is bring businesses and people into downtown Killeen. And I will have to admit that the council 5, 6 years ago thought that when we spent money downtown to make it more attractive and more accessible that the people would come, but that has not happened. So the city has to do something to entice people to come to the downtown area. There are very nice places in downtown Killeen. If they were in Austin, Texas, there would be hundreds of people packed into them. But for some reason, I believe we have to have more than 1 or 2. You have to have like 10, and then people will come. But the city can work to bring these things about.
I think the only way really to get downtown Killeen energized is to have targeted incentive to be there. As a businessman, I'm going to open a business if I feel like it's profitable to me and any shareholders I may have or partners or whatever. So there's got to be a reason to be there that makes great economic sense. And I think, we're kind of getting there. The other thing is, we got to make sure that the place is appealing enough from a safety standpoint, so there's got to be a good police presence there. There was a bike patrol years ago that used to ride bikes around and stop in. I know when my business was downtown, they'd stop in and we'd get them coffee and talk about what they're seeing, and they just rode around, and it made a very nice, safe presence for the people that were down there every day. And the other is, we got to make sure that the place looks good, especially when it rains. I remember walking in the post office downtown and had to hike my pants up because of the water that was just rushing through that post office. Those are the kinds of things that make downtown unattractive, and I think if we can fix those types of things, it'd be a much better place.
Well, in reference to downtown, I know for a fact that the city already has a plan that they're working on. What we need to do is evaluate the plan that's in place, see what other incentives you can have to bring business there. We need to find out whenever a business declines going there, maybe they were interested, we need to find out why they didn't come. So maybe we can find that one key as to why, even though we have incentives in place, businesses are still not flocking to go there. Maybe it is a safety issue. Maybe it is the way it looks. Maybe it is a lack of traffic. But we must find that out so that we can use our dollars effectively. But we do have a plan working, we need to evaluate it.
The city council has been working on revitalizing downtown since I moved here in 2007. Some people have moved in, some businesses moved in, some decided to leave. A couple of issues you have to look at is you have to entice businesses to want to come down there. And one key thing is safety. I've talked with people about the downtown area, and they're not happy because they don't feel safe. So it's an issue that has to be addressed. It was stated earlier, there are no incentives to have businesses come down there. Tax breaks, grants that were mentioned. This stuff has to get put out so people know and understand what it's there for. It's for them to hopefully move their businesses downtown, but yet the city has a responsibility to make sure that it's a safe, secure environment. Last forum I had mentioned about police substations, and someone shot me an email saying that I was incorrect, that there are no substations. Well, I fired back and said, show them where their substations are. They can move them into the downtown area. Thank you.
I do believe Killeen definitely can be revitalized. I'm thinking transforming communities where people feel valued. When they feel valued, they feel safe and they feel stable, because giving them something to do, bringing the community out and creating transformative programs where they can come out and beautify the city themselves and be hands-on, working in the community, building a safe structure, something that's just not thrown up, but something that they can see a value, that I put my hands on this, I created this, and they can go home and feel better about themselves. we have to build people of value versus just building assets. Assets are good for the people who it benefit, but if it doesn't benefit the community, then it's no good. So if you build a community where they feel valued and they have a part of the restructure and the revitalization of Killeen, then it'll be a more safe and stable environment.
For better or for worse, perception is reality. And speaking with a lot of people that are potential business owners, you talk about revitalizing downtown, one of the first things they come up with is safety. Nobody wants to walk around with the possibility of getting mugged after you've had a nice dinner or whatever else. So certainly that is an issue that needs to be addressed. And then, we can offer all the incentives, and that's great, but people, the businesses have got to want to go down there, and the city needs to be able to, not in addition to the incentives, but also promote the downtown area in a better light. And then, with getting these businesses down there, you got to have something that people want to go to. That is the bottom line. You can put all the money you want or all the other things, but if you're putting a business that people don't want to go to, nobody's going to go down there. So that, there needs to be some thought into that. And I know when you're trying to sell something, at least I haven't seen it, maybe there is, but when you have a rendering or something to show people what the city could look like and how you could be a part of that growth.
Killeen actually has a downtown plan. The problem we have is that downtown is not a consistent priority. Every time we get a few councilmen elected, the priorities change. So if downtown is important, then it needs to remain a priority regardless of who's elected to council. And when you talk about downtown, downtown is the heart and history of our city. And that is something we must take care of. That's where we started as a community, as a city. Before we can properly take care of downtown, we have to take care of the outer area. That includes North Central Killeen. That's the reason why in 2015, as a planning and zoning commissioner, I proposed the North Killeen revitalization program that offers tax abatement, waiving of building permit inspection fees, and Board of Adjustment things where they were not required to go before the Board of Adjustment. And it's important as we talk about crime, because that's what we're talking about right now. Crime, and economic upward mobility go hand in hand. You can't address one without addressing any.
If you heard this before from me, you've heard it about 100 times. Small business is the keystone of any city. It's not big business. Small business takes care of small businesses. If you look at the area downtown, I've been downtown now for 34 years, walking up and down, and I see it all the time. And I do visit quite a few small businesses as part of the chamber. And let me tell you, safety is not the reason they give me. It's not. The number one reason is we got nobody walking into downtown. We have no business coming into downtown. Business comes in, but the city council cannot control who's going to open a business, who's going to close a business. It's us who need to come back to the business. If you do not know this, you should know it by now, we're going to have a new museum coming close to downtown. We need to get prepared because that museum is going to bring a lot of visitors to our region, especially Killeen. We need to open things and maybe things that they're going to have walking traffic. We need walking traffic to our city. We need to attract people to come to our city. And let me tell you, if you have not done this yet, pay a visit to your local chamber and sit down with those people from EDC. Ask them what are they doing. It's quite a few projects underway.
The city of Killeen do have a plan for downtown. The city of Killeen do have a plan for downtown, and it's been going on for several years. Each council, they have added on to it. The mayor, in his term, he started working on the corridor. The council before that did the streets right there by the water. It's gonna take time and money to revitalize downtown. But as a council, you cannot, I piggyback off Mr. Rivera, someone down there, you cannot make people go downtown. You have to make it attractive. And by making it attractive, you beautify it, you talk it up, you make it a walking area, and you highlight. And I'm glad y'all talking about downtown, because some of my family and distant family members got some property down there. I want y'all to keep talking about downtown.
I have been in Killeen since 1965. Downtown was the only area that we had to shop, pay our bills, and do everything. I have seen this town grow from 0 to 100%. What happened was the businesses moved north, south. Walmart opened over there. Some of the big dining areas worked over there. And the city council had no control over them. People do what they want to do. If you think this town is unsafe and downtown's unsafe, you need to ask people and find out. Stop listening to what everybody else tells you and get your own facts. Because there's just, a lot of talk. Another thing is I used to sell real estate here. And location. Those of you that are involved in real estate, that's the first thing you try to do for yourself, your buyer, is the location. And I think downtown is not a good location right now.
Well, I think the first thing that we need to do is define downtown. We've heard a lot of different people talk, and there have been mentions of corridor and this street, that street. The mayor was talking earlier about Rancier. You hear different people talk about downtown is moving south, so downtown is now where the Civic Center is. That's why the school has to be put way out south on the ECJ. So we need to find where downtown is. We pay $1 million plus a year for the Chamber of Commerce and the KEDC, and they can't get the word out about small business incentives for downtown and revitalization for downtown. We need to figure that out. You can get businesses to come in, but you can't keep the businesses if you don't have the customers. You can't get customers if they can't get there. If there's no parking, if there's no transportation, we need to be able to keep them out there later. There needs to be a nightlife, and we need to keep our local money local. Thank you.
I've only been here since 2014, and I was told don't go downtown. And it's not safe. And as a coordinator, one who worked with families and parents on national committees, we listen to the voices of the people. I really feel like when I hear commissioners saying, we plan, how many have gone out to the people and asked them what they want? The people will decide what's going to happen. If you do not have their voices being heard, then you're never going to accomplish the things you're trying to accomplish. One time there was a person that said, we're going to help somebody get to school. We're building sidewalks, and we're going to make sure they have a safe place. And they said, they won't be coming to school. And then when they got the sidewalks built, they said, your kids are still coming to school. Why? It's the snakes and the dogs. They never asked the people why they're not coming to school. We have to go to the people if we want to hear the right voice.
Do you believe there should be more or less